Is the video started? Yeah, it was live now. Let's uh, let's start, guys. So first, what we are going to see. Let's start, guys. First, what we are going to see. Good morning, guys. Welcome to game. Sorry, welcome to Code Brain Execution. Today we are going to learn to code. Even though I was not a great coder, now I want to learn Python. So I'm going to learn by studying through each website. And at the same time, if you want, I want to clarify you things. Instead, you are going to see how I was doing practicing my own code. Okay, let's start. Let's start now. First, let me try to. Let's start now. Let me take the eraser. Erase all the things. Okay. First, what I'm going to see is we are going to start with Python. In this video, we are going to learn Python. Not only in this video, uh, entire session is going on Python. Until I was very comfortable with Python, I am going to stream Python related video. Okay. Now the first thing is we need to print. Okay, I know some basic things with Python, so let me start with that. First thing, I am going to print my name. Print. Let me give code brain execution. Yeah, fine. Let me print this. So for just let's no no here in Python we don't need to do anything. Just simply just write the Python code and write we so we can get the output. Now I have a doubt. Wait a minute. What to do if I have a doubt? Thank you, thank you. Yeah. If you have any doubt, let's ask Gemini. Here my doubt is how it prints the print statement. Let me ask you Gemini. What is the use of the print statement in Python and how it works? It's thinking, okay, let me try and get an answer. So now the most fundamental tools, okay, you will use it primary purpose is to send output to the standard output device, usually screen or console, which means we are dealing with a computer. The computer is sending the output which is human understandable. That was mean by this one in Python. Function is one of the most fundamental tools you will use. Its primary purpose is to send output. Okay, send output to the standard output device, which is display here. It is a screen. Fine. Here is a breakdown of what it is used for and how it actually works under the hood. Okay, let me check. What's the use of print? The print function has three main purpose. Okay, let me check what are those. First one is displaying information. What is that? It allows a program to communicate with the user by showing the text. Fine, guys. Like here, I have printed code brain execution. Then it is printed. In some case, uh, If I'm going to add two numbers, just let's take an example. If I just say a a plus sorry 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8, it won't give anything. But the same thing, if you put inside this 7 plus 8, then it is adding. So before, do you think before it doesn't added? No, it's not like that. In previous also it added, but it's not showed in the screen. So for our purpose, we need to know what is output. We are using the print statement. Okay, fine. Next one, debugging. Developers often use print to check the value of variable at a specific point in the code to understand why a bug is occurring. Okay, it's something like if we have multiple functions or methods we write inside a bunch of code, we don't like if we have so many functions, like for example, we are going to add 7 plus 8, and with the answer we are going to add another number and getting that number, and we are adding another number. Sure, we need to check where is the problem is occurring. um, for example, let's take 7 plus 8, we get 15, right? That number is added by 5, then it becomes 20 here, but we are getting 22, which means we know where we are getting the problem, where we are getting the bug. At that time, we can use the print statement to get the answer. For example, 7 plus 8, what is the answer? We can check line by line. Then we can use the print statement. Okay, fine. Next, logging. In simple script, it is used to keep a record of what steps the program has completed. Fine. It's also a nice idea. Like in machine learning or some things that we write a bunch of code to run different cells. At that time, we need to know in the output or terminal on which place, on which step we have completed. Then we can use this Python. So we are using at three places. First one to display the information. Next one as a debugger, debugging. We need to debug as a developer. We will debug. Then we can use, and last the logging. Just for the sake of understanding, we are using the print statement. Fine, fine. How it works in Python 3? It is a function, meaning you must use parentheses. Okay. So in Python 3, become a function. Okay, fine. We must use parentheses, which means curly. It's not curly. It's a open and close bracket without doubt. So yeah, okay, fine. Okay, here is what those parameters do. Let me check. Come on, what it is doing? What's happening, guys? Yeah, we want to print objects. Okay, separators and end character. Print objects, separators, end characters. Okay, what is? Let me check. What is that? Objects. What is objects? See, guys, inside print statement, we have three. Oh, no, no, it's not three. It's more than three. Flash, file, flash, and okay, come on. Let's see. What is the object here? The values we want to print. You can print multiple values separated by commas. Let me check. Wait, here I am separated by print. You can separated by commas. Okay, now I want to print uh, code brain execution. Next, subscribe. Let me print. Is this printing? 15. Yeah, guys, it is printing here. See, 15 code brain execution subscribe. So we can print multiple values. Let me check with a number. For example, like this. Yeah, guys, it is printing. Shall it print a list? Come on, let me try this one. It will print anything inside it. Okay, fine. What to insert between multiple objects? Space. What to print at the every end of the statement? If you use slash n, then it will generate new line. Okay. Where to send the output? If we use file, um, what to send? Sys.scd. Okay, fine. It's going to save our output there. Now let me try to use slash n. Let me use slash n here. Let's put it that in a quarter. Nothing is changing. Uh, let me let me paste here. Let me check, guys. Come on, what it is going to do? Well, it is printing. It is printing down, down. Okay, fine. So let me take this slash in here. Let me take this one. Fine. That's nice. It is printing at the bottom, guys. Next file is like a say file path, something related to that. I think right now we don't need to care much more about it. Okay. Now come on. Now let's go to the next place. That is, let me try. Wait a minute. I have another doubt. What happens if we place this inside here? Let me check. Oh my god, it's getting. Oh, no, no, no. Here we have a error. What it was saying is invalid syntax, which means here I have two commas. Let me try to remove this one. Yeah, it's still working, which means we don't need to place that separately. We can also put that inside the line we want. For example, let me take this one. Okay, okay. Let me remove the space. Why this is happening? Wait, I have a doubt. I have a doubt now. Do you have any doubts, guys? See, let me ask you. We have put slash n here, but my output is like this. Wait, here, let me ask the question. Why I am getting the output like this? Like, see, 15 is here. Core brain execution has some gap. Let me ask this one. This is the one. Here, uh, here, the output from the second line is giving some space. That's why. Let me ask to the GPT. Because of the commas in your print statement. Comma. What, guys? I never think that one. Your code is 8. Wait a minute. Let me again try to run the code. See, look, I am getting output like this. So, this is the output for the code. Now, I want to understand why it is coming like this. For when I printing 7 plus 8, I don't have n, so it is printing. But when I say slash a new line, it should print on the new line. But it is giving some space. That's what I can't understand. Yeah, this is the code. Here, for 4 and 1, 2, 3, there is a small space in new line. Why it is created and how? Okay, that small space is technically called a leading space. Fine. It is created. Why it is created? Because Python follows a very strict rule. Print a space for every comma. Fine. That is exactly why and how that space gets on to the new line. Let me want to know that. The why, the rule of the comma. Why when you write A, comma B, comma C, Python does not check A, comma B, comma or C actually, or it just follow the sequence blindly. Print A space, print B space. Fine. Okay, how to fix this? You have to tell the Python do not add spaces for comma. You do this by setting sep equal to an empty string. What is sep equal to space? Okay. Wait, let me check. Comma SCP equal to this one. Ah, Okay, guys, come on. So, uh, here now here we don't have space. So when we use, see, basically in Python, when we use a comma, it automatically going to give some space. Okay, to remove the space, we are using separator. Now let me learn what is step again. Wait a minute. Let me go back. How to fix this one? Python. Come on, come on. Object step. How to insert between multiple object. Space. And what is flesh? What is flesh? Come on, let me ask the Python a question. What is a flesh? Where to write the output immediately? Fine. Or wait until it has a bigger chunk of data. To understand flesh, you first need to understand buffering. That's great, guys. Flesh is something higher level of concept. I think so. I'm not sure. So it's something like it will print a large number of data. Okay, let me learn buffering. Writing text to the screen or a file is a relatively slow operation for a computer. What? It is slow. Okay, now only I know, guys, this is slow. To work faster, Python doesn't send every single character instantly. Nice. Okay, what it will do? It collects text into a temporary storage area called a buffer. Let me say instead of like if I print 7 plus 8, which is 15, code brain execution 1 2 3 1 2 3, it doesn't print each one separately. Instead, it is collecting like we can simply say we can storing those letters in one small bucket, and when we call the print, it is printing. It's pouring all the thing like that. I think so. Okay. Python stores the text in the buffer. It only dumps print to the screen when the buffer gets full. Okay, fine. Only when it's get full. If you print a new line, the forced behavior finish flash equal to true. Python skips the buffer and forces the text to appear. Even if there is no new line or the buffer is in full. Let's have some real world example. Okay, imagine a waiter. Okay, I have a waiter. That is Python. Taking orders at a restaurant. Fine, he was taking. We are going to order dosa, buri. Chi, 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 chi. You nonsense. Always dosa, buri. Okay, it's just a joke. Yeah. Yeah, here Python is a waiter. He's going to take order from us. Similarly, the waiter waits until the entire table has ordered before walking to the kitchen. That's nice. If you go into the restaurant, a waiter will come and he will get the menu from us. Until that, he never ever goes to the kitchen. That's fine. Simple. Awesome. Now, what is the flesh? The waiters run to the kitchen after every single item ordered. Appetizer. Main course run to the kitchen. This is inefficient, but ensures the kitchen gets the order immediately. When do you see? Flush is something like for each, if in a table we have 5 members, like each member order, he goes to the kitchen and he will come back and take the next person's order. I think so. But ensure the kitchen gets the order immediately. It's something like instead of getting more orders at a time, the kitchen will get one by one order neatly. That's nice. When do you need it? You almost exclusively use Flush when creating loading bars. These are countdowns or dynamic status updates where the text changes on the same line. Because these updates often don't use a new line. Fine. Python's default behavior would hide the text until the very end of the loop. Nice, nice, guys. We have learned something true, but here we never use in this code where we use the flash cause a number to appear instantly, creating a real-time countdown effect. Okay, I have understand the flesh a bit. Now let's go for. Let me ask another question to Gemini. By default, Python uses buffer, which means it will collect all the text and it it will print. To avoid this, we use flash to print each letter. Am I correct? Let me check my understanding first. The buffer part, you are correct. That's nice. Yeah. Fresh part does not automatically break text down into letters. Whatever you just passed to the specific print statement, fine. Hmm. Okay. Do you understand, guys, a bit? I think here, okay. So first, what we are going to do, print. Now we are going to print code brain execution. If we try to print this one, it will print. Now I need to print some other letters or some other data structures, data types. I'm just placing the C next a number like this. Now it will print. But if you see here, it give basically comma will give space by default. Now if I use, let's take um, separated equal to this one, then you can see there is no space. Okay. Now what is sep? What are the ways we can separate this? Come on, let's see. Sep stands for separator. Fine. It is a parameter. It is a parameter in the print function. What is inserted between values when you print them together? Whenever you see a comma inside a print, Python looks at sep. Okay, so when I use the comma, then it's going to look for separator. The default, if you do not write anything, default to a single space is space. Okay. If you set sep equal to an empty string, Python will stick the items together with nothing. Okay. Regarding the extra space. But let me give some space and here and let me try to run. Let me see. It is by default, it is giving the solution. Okay. See, by default, this is the thing. Next one, we want to remove this one. No space. Fine. For that, we are using. Next, we can use any character or a separator. This is great for formatting dates, times, or lists. This this separator was useful. When it was useful is when we are cleaning the data in which one, like ML task or data cleaning. That time, I think this separator will be useful for us because. mm, Wait a minute. I understand. We can give anything. Let me give a star here. It will separate by star. Okay, guys. I understood, guys. Separator by default it uses space. So in Python, if we use comma, Python will going to check for separator. By default, separator is separate using the space. But if you want to do with some other, then we can do with anything we want. If you do like this, where run the code, see, this will give the output like this. Fine, vertical line. If I want new line, then each word will be like this. This is much better. Instead of using slash n before of each thing, this is much better. That's nice. Right now, I have understood what is the use of print statement and what can we do with the print statement. And the CSV style is something like don't want that. Okay, now I have some basic idea on this. Do you have any other idea similar to this? Then kindly come on and let me see. Let me now write. First, let me erase this all. Let me erase all the things. Hmm. If I print something, by default, it look for sep. Default, it look for sep. By default, it is space separator. So that in each time, if we give comma inside the print statement, it's going to print the name, some space, print the name, some space, print the name, space like that. If we replace that space with this one, then it's going to print space instead of star. This is the separator function is doing. Okay, that's nice. Next, let's learn something. What to do? Let's print. Mm, shall we use more statement like Like just imagine if I want to wait a minute. I want to print multiple times the same thing. Then what I need to do? I need to type the same thing for how much time I need, that much time I need to write the code. This is the one way that we need to do. Now it will going to let me remove the print accept function. Let me remove this all because this creating a new line. Now let me print. See, it has printed 5 times. But if you want to print, I don't want to repeat the same code for millions of times. You want to do, like for example, you need to write print only one time in the code, and in the output it should print for a 5 times or 10 times. It depends upon the number you describe. That much time it should print. Then what you need to do is remove all the things. Remove all the things. Keep it one. Now let's put the thing in for I in range. Why should I need a for I in range? Let me say for I 5. Ah, guys, come on. I hope you have understood some basic thing. Now, now let's see what you're going to do. Oh my god, my new mouse. Come on. Come on, guys. That's fine. Come on. Let me print 5. And I need to give some space here. It should, int object is not iterable for I in range range 5. Now it will work. See, here we have write print statement only one time. It is printing 5 times. This is what the screen is. No, you need an eraser tool to erase this one. Now let's change to pen. Yeah, here what it is doing. Let me move to Google tab. Let me check. Come on, what it is actually doing. Here we need to go with Python for loop. Wait, let me just copy this one and let me say explain explain this code. As simple as that. Why should we need to hurry? We should not get hurry here. We need to wait. What is the use of this statement? I don't know. Here, let me say, hey, what happened to my pen? Six plus 7 equal to 10. That's nice. That's nice. Now let me see the code now. Here is a step-by-step explanation. When you run this code, you will see the exact same line printed 5 times. What actually this code is doing here? Well, I don't know. Let me turn on. Oh my god, it is risky to insert things like this. Okay, now let me place the tools here. That's nice. Come on, next. Now let me check. Uh, Range is fine. What is going to create here? In simple terms, we can say this as uh, here I have range equal to 5. This create a sequence of numbers starting from 0 up to not including up to uh, up to not including 5, which means it starts from 0. Wait, let me take the notepad and try to explain you. Okay, let me first read all this. Okay, this loop will run 5 times in total. Variable I in the first round I equal to 0, in the second round I equal to 1. However, you are not using I inside your print statement, so the output looks the same every time. Inside the loop, this single line runs 5 times. That is how Python handles it. Separator, since you used commas between the items and didn't specify a separator, Python uses the default space. If I say end equal to comma, what will happen, guys? Wait. See, fine. It's painting everything in the same line. Just if you give some space, then you can know. See, everything is printing in the same line. So, fine. Now I have understood something. Now let me write in the code and try this one. So here, what I am doing is, let me write. Let me, come on, guys. Let me, you can come and check my understanding. Now, here, what will do? Basically, here, the range means, hey, I don't like this one. Range equal to 5. So it will write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It not include 5, but you can see it has 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 numbers now. Come on. Mm, Before that, let me change the tablet to digital pen. It's not mouse mode. Come on. Which makes to write I less than 5. Okay, fine. I have just wrote something to check is this working good or not. Okay, it's working fine. Now let me come to the concept. So first step, range. Range equal to, I think I need to what to say. I let me try to increase the state letters. It is very small. Range equal to 5, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, it won't include 5. Sorry, it's only it starts from 0. It ends in 4. If I say range equal to 10, then it will start from 0. It goes up to 9. It won't include the last number 10 because it is starting from 0. Okay. Now let me rub this all. Okay. Now first step, I equal to 0. Now it will check 0 less than 5. Yes, condition true. It will print. Next, I equal to 1. 1 less than 5. Condition true, print. I equal to 2. 2 less than 5. Condition 2 true. Next, it will print. Now it equal to I equal to 3. 3 less than 5. Condition true, it will print. Wait a minute. Hey, what's happening here? Eraser, please. Eraser. Let me rub this one. Okay, now let me. Now let me change I equal to 4. 4 less than 5. Now it will again print the statement. Now it become increment I equal to 5. It checks 5 less than 5. Condition fails. Now the code stops here. This is how we are writing the code. I think now we have understand the for loop a bit. Okay. Now, how was the increment will work? I have a doubt. How was here? We are not adding the increment. Then how the increment will work? That's why I'm asking. See, basically in C++, C or Java, we need to write I equal to I plus 1, something like that. But in Python, we never use that statement here. What it is doing here? Actually, an iterator, fine, it is an iterator. It doesn't just count numbers. It walks through a sequence of items one by one. When you write I in range 5, Python does this internally. It looks at the sequence generated by range 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to looks at sequence, okay? Round 1, it automatically takes the first item 0 and assign it to I. Round 2, it automatically moves to the next item 1 and assign it to I. Okay, it's working like an iterator. Hey, what's iterator? It means the increments happen because the loop simply grabs the next item in the list. Oh, yes. When to stop, where to start, when to stop, and how to step. In Python, automatic increment, you just provide the list of numbers. Python handle the stepping. Can you change the incremented? Yes, we can even change. Can automatically how much it increments by changing the range. Start, stop, step. Which is similar to this one. It should start, it should stop, and this is the I plus plus is a step. For a backward try, what I let me let me do a backward try. Come on, guys. Let me try this one. Numlock is off. Let me turn on it. Ah, I need to print from backwards, which means let me before that let me print from forwards. Wait, print I, which means it's going to print from 0 to 4. Yeah, look at the screen. Now you have seen it is printing the number from 0 to 4. Now I need to print the same thing from 4 to 0. How I'm going to do? Sure, by default the start stop step is taken. I'm going to specify where to start, when to stop. Shall I say from 5 you should start and you to stop on 1 and the step is -1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I let me say this as -1. Nice. How simple we can let me check this one with the Gemini. Kindly give this one. Guys, am I right? Yeah. Print blast off. Let me see what will print blast off. Come on, guys. That's nice. Come on. Now let's see what is happening here. If I say start stop, let me ask my understanding whether before let me try to understand, let me ask this. Here the number 10 is the start and the number 0 is uh, end and the step is -1, which means it tells to decrease. That's why it is printing in decreasing order. Am I correct? Wait, let me check. You have perfectly understood the logic of the three parameters. Where to begin, the direction and speed. Since it is negative, Python knows to go down. Now I have a doubt. Instead of saying it will print up to 1, uh, what I was trying to said was what will happen if I say it is a 10? Blast off. Um, for I think here we can't decrease. That's why it is. It's not giving anything. That's why it's not printing. Let me check is this correct or not. Whether if the start is smaller number and the end is bigger, then the negative step will work or not. No, it will not work in the way you might expect. It will not produce an error, but the loop will simply not run at all. The logic mismatch. You want me to start at 1 and go down to 0, -1, -2, reach the number 10. Since going down from 1 moves you away from 10, Python realizes it can never reach the destination. It treats this as an empty range and skip the loop entirely. What happens if we give best? Then it will print till 9. That's nice. Okay, now I have understand a start stop step, a print statement we have how to print and what is the comma and separator end and flush. Hmm, nice. Come on. Now let's do with while statement. Shall I try the while statement? Like, wait a minute. How to do the same thing without using the range function? I have this doubt. Let me check with the GPT. How to do this without using range but use for loop. Let me check. Is there any other things uh, there? Is there any other loop or is there any other method? Then let me learn something new today. Use a loop without range. You simply need to give the loop a collection of items to walk through. That's fine, which means it tells us to use list. Okay, use a list instead of generating numbers with range. You can just type them automatically. Sorry, we need to do it manually. Instead of you, if we don't want to use range, then we need to produce the list like this. This is a manual job that we can't do for a huge number. So that we are using a range. But if you have a list of numbers, then you can simply use the list, or we can use the name to that list and we can use that name here. This will work. Similar to a list but uses parentheses, this is slightly faster. This is tuple. I think for tuple we cannot change something like that. We cannot alter. Let me let me confirm this. For tuple, we cannot alter. Am I correct? Fine. We cannot. Once we added, it cannot be changed. That is the fine. So without the range function, either we need to use the list or we need to use the range function. These are the two ways to do this one. Now let's go for while loop. Come on, let's go for a while loop. How it was? Let me try to remove this all. Mm, while I less than wait I less than 10. Now here I need to define I equal to 0. I think I sim is normal. Print subscribe. Now it will print 10 times. Let's see. Subscribe. So, no, guys, this is very hard to look the numbers. Let me give the I. What's happening? Why it's not running? Oh my god, it's running infinite times, guys. What is the issue here? I think it's not incrementing, it's just folding on the I, which means here I have not used the increment function like I equal to uh, I plus 1. See, this is the issue. Let me ask the GPT Gemini, is this an error for loop? We don't need to specify the increment, but for the while loop, we need to specify the increment. Is this correct or wrong? Let me check. This is the main structural difference between the two loops. Guys, I am correct. That's awesome, man. Okay, now I have a doubt. Uh, in, let me say, is it possible to use I plus equal to 1? Is this possible? Hey, wait a minute. I told to start from 0, but it's not starting 0. Why? What is the issue here? Let me run it again. Guys, sorry. That is, see. Wait a minute. Let me see. Here I am. It is doing this one. Now, if I say I equal to I, both are same guy. I equal to I plus 1 or I plus equal to 1, both are same. Now, I want to try I plus plus. Is this work here or not? I want to know this one. Why it's showing error? Is there any problem? Let me ask Gemini. Hello, Gemini Ganesan. Why I plus plus not working? In Python, we need to use either I plus equal to 1 or I equal to I plus 1. Why we need to write this? Come on, guys, let's see the reason for this one so that we can understand the more basic concept of Pythons. This is one of the most common questions. That's nice. That's really nice. Plus plus. Oh my God, Python doesn't have plus plus operator. Okay. If you try to run I plus, you will get a syntax error. Of course, I got it. Syntax error equal to 1. See, from 0 to 9, it's printing in a buttery smooth way. Now, if I say I less than or equal to 10, it works fine. So, in simple terms, we can see in, while loop works same as all program. Am I correct? In here, the only difference is like on the looping. For loop, oh my god, what is added under this remote? What is that? In every language, a while loop follow this exact flow chart. Check condition. If true, run code, go back to step one. If false, step false. The logic is identical, only the syntax, brackets versus identity changes. Python has an else block, unique feature. Oh my god, guys, in most languages like C or Java do not allow an else block after a while loop. Today I have learned something new. Till my age, I don't know Python has else. Python allows else loop inside the while. That's nice. In Python runs once after the loop finishes normally. Python has no do while loop. It is a missing feature. Java has have a do while loop. This loop guarantees that the code runs at least once before checking the condition. See example do while. Okay. If not, Python way to fake a do while loop. If not, condition break. Python doesn't have do while, but we can imitate that same concept using if not conditions and break. Okay, that's nice to see. And I have learned something new today. Yes, do you really learn something new? Then just kindly give me thumbs up, guys. Or if I wasted, if you think that I'm wasted your time, you can dislike. I don't have a problem. That's nice. Next, what we can learn. Let me try to, let me check with the board now. Come on. Let me take my pen and hear how it works. Here while loop, what it was doing. Now it is checking. Wait a minute, it's very far. I equal to 0. Yeah, 0 less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is correct. Now I need to print I. What is that? 0. Now next I equal to I plus 1. So here what is I? Um, I need to increment I by 1. So I equal to I plus 1. Here I is 0, 0 plus 1. Now I become 1. Now I equal to 1, 1 less than I equal to 10, condition true. Now I need to print 1. Now again we need to increment. So I equal to 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now I equal to 2. So 2 less than or equal to 10, condition true. It's going to print 2. Now I equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. Now I become 3. Now 3 less than or equal to 10. Yeah, condition true. Now it's going to print 3. And I equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. Now I become 4. 4 less than or equal to 10, condition true, it will going to print 4. And now 4 plus 1 equal to, it will going to increment. The I value is 4. So 4 plus 1 equal to 5. Now I become 5. 5 less than or equal to 10, condition true. It's going to print 5. And let's going to increment 5 with 1. So it becomes 6. I equal to 6. 6 less than or equal to 10, condition true. We're going to print 6. Now let's going to increment that I. So it becomes 7. Now y equal to 7. 7 less than or equal to 10, condition true. We're going to print 7. Now let's increment the I. It becomes 8. So I equal to 8. 8 less than or equal to 10, condition true. It's going to print 8. Now I let you need to increment I. So I equal to 8 plus 1, which is 9. Now I become 9. 9 less than or equal to 10, condition true. Condition true. Now let's print the 9. Now let me need to increase the 9 by 1. Now it becomes 10. Now I equal to 10. 10 less than or equal to 10, condition true. Now it prints 10. Now increment the 10 by 1, which becomes 11. I equal to 11. 11 less than or equal to 10. Condition false, the loop going to stop. This is how the while loop works. I think, hmm, okay. Now what we have learned today. Come on guys, let me recall it one. First I started with print statement. Inside the print, I have what one object, next a comma, and that is end, and sep, that is file, and flush. What is object? Anything is considered as an object, a number or word, a letter, space, anything we put inside the print. For anything we put inside the print statement will print. Here, if we need to add multiple objects, like we need to add print Ram, Sam, Mohan. Here, comma by default gives some new space. To remove this, we need to use by if the print statement saw a comma, then the print look for separator. Here by default it is a space. By default it separates through space. If you want to replace it with some other object, like it need to separate by star, then it will separate like this, like Ram, Sam, Star, Mohan, like this. If you want to replace that with hash, like for example, uh, separator equal to hash, which means it will separate with hash Ram, Sam, hash Mohan. Like this way, it will separate. And next, we need to look for end. What is end here? End means nothing but new line. By default, it gives new line. If you don't want the new line, like for example, basically how the print will works. Here, see, look at my code. Here, I just give print I. So it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because by default, end equal to slash n, which means new line. That's why it is printing like this. But just imagine if we say end equal to space, then it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this direction, it will print. By default, new line is like this, and so it print like this. So let me show you how it going to work. If I say print I comma end equal to space, now you can see. Look at the output. It's in horizontal line. Okay, this is what we have learned with a print statement. And after that, we have saw file. What is the use of file in a print statement is it tells us where to save the file. Next one is flush. By default, Python will the Python will do items in a buffer, like in a bucket way, which means it won't go and print each thing. Like if we have, like if we say use this flash, which is very very useful. This is what the Python's list is. Now just imagine. Now we have completed by what is print statement, what is for loop, and what is while loop. Is there anything beyond this statement? To be honest, I think no. Up to my knowledge, I don't. I think no. Come on, come on. Let's now see some other things. Next, what I want to say. Let me ask Gemini so that we can get to know is there anything for loop, while loop, is there anything in Python other than this? It's simple. We have only two. We don't have anything more than this. It's nice. It's nice to see that. There are only two primitive commands, while loop, for loop. This create a loop it like effect. This is often used in advanced algorithm like sorting or tree traversal. Example countdown without a loop, some things like this. Fine. List comprehension. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now we have learned two things: while loop, for loop. Uh, Let me try to understand what is recursion. Come on. What is recursion? Give me example. Come on, guys. It is a programming concept and a function calls itself to solve a problem. Fine. Imagine if you want to open a set of Russian nesting dolls, matriarchal dolls, you open the big doll. Instead, you find a smaller doll. You repeat the process. Open the doll until you find the tiniest doll that cannot be opened. In programming, the tiniest doll is called the base case, the stop button. If you don't have it, the function will call itself forever and crash your program. Understand? Which means it's in simple terms, we can say loop is going to run inside another loop. Inside the loop, there are multiple loops like that. A loop inside a loop inside a loop like that. Okay, base case and recursive step. The condition where the function stops calling itself. For each recursion, there are two steps. One is a base case, another is a recursive step. The part where the function call itself with a smaller version of the problem. I think uh, I'm not understanding this, but let me try to understand a bit clear. Come on, guys. Let me go and see this one. Recursion. What is the use of recursion now? Condition where the function calls stopping itself. The part where the function call itself with a smaller version of the program. Still, I can't understand how it works. When you run a factorial 3, here is exactly what happens in the computer's memory. It builds a stack of unfinished tasks. Okay. Call 1, factorial 3. Ask what is 3. Factorial, ask what is 3 star factorial 2. Computer doesn't know yet, so it passes and calls factorial 2. Ask what is 2 star factorial 1. So it passes and calls call 3 factorial 1. Ask is n equal to 1. Yes, base case reached, it returns 1. Now the computer unwinds the stack, goes back up, back to call 2. It now knows factorial 1 is 1. Calculation 2 star 1 equal to 2. Returns 2. Back to call 1. It now knows factorial 2 is 2. Calculation 3. Okay. A bit of confusing, but let me try to understand this one. Uh, if you forgot the base case or write it wrong, the function will call it itself infinitely. Python has a safety limit, usually 1000 calls, and will crash your program with this error. Can you give me a simple logical example to understand this recursion concept? Here is the simplest real world example to understand recursion. Waiting in a line. Okay. Here is a simple real world example to understand recursion. Waiting in a line. You are standing in a long line at a movie theater and you want to know how many people are in front of you. You can't see the friend, so you can't count them all. The recursive solution action. You tap the person in front of you and ask how many people are in front of you. That person taps the person in front of them and asks the same question. Eventually, the question reaches the very first person. They see no one is in front of them. So they answer 0, the return. And tells the person, okay, guys, this is such a beautiful example, guys. If someone asks an example for a recursion, we can say you are standing in a line. Uh, you don't know how many of them in front of you. At that time, you are tapping the person in front of you and asking how many of them before you. He will tap him tap the if he also doesn't know how many of them are there, so he taps his friend person, and he will taps like that. It goes till the first person. After the after the first person replies, it will one to each person, and it will come to the person who asked a question. Okay, now I have understand. Theoretically, I have some basic understanding of regression now. I am not sure that I will be a very good yeah, programmer or developer. So I don't have any confidence on it. You can't see the friend, so you can't count them all. So tap the person in front of. Come on, guys. So now I have understand recursion a bit. I think so. In this video, what you have learned, I have learned. In simple terms, I can say I have learned these many things. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop the stream. Let's meet on the next stream. Until then, it's bye from Bharat. Bye bye. Have a nice day.